The key to taking a charge is to stand tall, not crouch down. You also want to understand what's happening on your very last step. The last step you take before standing, before being still. The reason you want to stand tall is because it takes the fear out of the charge. The reason people don't take charges is they're scared to. Coaches, it's hard to get them to do it, all that. It's scary. It's scary when you crouch down. Crouching down's crazy. The reason you don't crouch down is when you stand tall, you're eyeball to eyeball, shoulder to shoulder, hip to hip, knee to knee. That's what you want. When you crouch down, all of a sudden, your face is in line with their shoulder. So no wonder people are scared of having their face and teeth knocked out. That now their center of gravity, their hips and such, are lined up with your chest almost. You're going to catch a knee, definitely an elbow, and in a forearm probably. I've never watched them in slow motion, but I'll bet the nasty ones include forearms. So you want to stand tall, and I'll tell you how. I'll tell you how to get to that position. And see, it's getting to that position, that last step that puts you in that position, that's also the key. You can more precisely land where you need to land if you stand tall. When you're crouched down, you don't have the options at that last step. So, I guess I'll describe the stance. This is how you'll be when you land and you're stationary, where you should be in the path of the opponent, and how you'll look. From the bottom up, your feet aren't wide. You're not crouched down. Your feet are like 8 to 10 inches on your tippy toes, maybe. No wider, not shoulder width. Okay, not crouched down. See, a charge, 95% of sports, it's good to be crouched a little bit because you want a good base, but not on a charge. On a charge, you plan on being knocked backward, and you want the ref to see that. So you don't want a good base. You just have to stand tall and trust me and take some charges, build your confidence. But when your feet are like that on the balls of your feet, then you go up. You want to stick your chest out a little bit, which I'll explain later. But your arms, now here's where you start taking some fear out of the equation. You want your arms like a V. You have seen this on guys taking charges. Not everyone does. They're crouched down, but the guys with that, like Shane Battier, there's a video you could watch. You put your arms in a V. I make fists that are touching each other, and they're covering my you-know-what. So, because guys, they might not think it, but they're afraid to take charges because they're exposed down there. Okay? The other thing is your face. By not having your face in line with their shoulder, alright, you're good. But, what I do, still... Hold on, I'm making a turn here. But what I do is turn my head a little bit and tuck my chin. It just makes me feel a little safer also. Definitely does. Because, I mean, a forearm could still hit your face. Okay? But, so, yeah, you get to that position. You stand tall, stick your chest out, arms in a V, fist covering your privates, turn your head, okay? That's the stance. Now, why is that stance good? Well, I explained why, but here's how you get to that location better. Alright, let's talk about the last step. On your last step, if you're moving right, it's your outer leg. It's going to be your left leg that you push off of. Because you're usually not running straight, you're moving to the side a bit. But you push off that leg. That's the last thing you do. And you're already upright, okay? Because you're going to get to the spot where this person's driving hard to the hoop. Imagine you're towards the left wing, facing the three-point line, and a guy in the middle of the three-point line drives straight to the hoop. So imagine that. So you slide over, you're running, and you want to get to a location and be there like a statue. So you're going, you push off your left leg, and you try to land stationary like a statue. It's easy. You just got to try it. It's amazing. But what's good about this dance is that when you push off that leg, let's talk about that. Let's slow that down. All right, we're not talking a second. We're talking in a tenth of a second. You can still make the decision to land far, to land short, even forward or backward some. Like a triangle. Like you're sliding to your right, and all of a sudden you take that last step, and there's this triangle where you still have options to land within that triangle. You're not at the mercy of your momentum and your inability to jump by being crouched down. So when you jump, take that last step, you can go up and out. Think of it like a launch. I think of it as a launch. Because in the air, what that does is while you're in the air, you can actually twist your body and land like a statue, believe it or not. You swing your arms up top a little bit, you'll notice your torso twist, everything's in line. Okay? Taking these kind of charges are no joke. I mean, you're perfectly in line, your hips and your shoulders are square, you're in position to take a nasty hit, but live to tell the story. And so you launch off that, and you have time. You just have time to land like that in the air. You can literally twist and land in the air. And another thing to think about is when you're sliding, that last step, you can, let's say, so you want to get directly in line between your opponent and the basket. You want to take the charge right there. So on that last step, again, you can push off real far and try to land, or adjust and push off a little bit. Kind of like a layup. Even the step before your last step. On a layup, you adjust that so you don't just jump off your last step, whatever it is. You know, the second to last step can help you adjust that last step also. But that allows you to be in line with that person, depending on your momentum. And now here's the other thing. Let's say your opponent's driving a little slower than you thought. So you might land too far from them. They change direction, and it's a block. Foul on you. So on that last step, you can still adjust. Remember the triangle? So you would go to the left, and you'd land more so in front of them, and they wouldn't have time to change direction. Or let's say they're going too fast. You can adjust and take an angle that's closer to the rim so that you're there in time with like 3 feet or whatever in front of you. But yeah, that's it. Okay, and so here's a really cool thing about sticking your chest out. So you stick your chest out. It's about center of your body, of your center of your mass of your body, your torso. When you take the impact there, you actually distribute the energy up your body and down your body. So you're distributing that energy. Not all the energy is going to one spot of your body and hurting you. So you distribute that energy. Hopefully that's the initial point of contact, and it starts to push you back. And because that energy is distributed, you're not going to go back 1,000 feet. You're going to go back, hey, if it's a fast break, like I said, you might go back 6 feet or land on your butt 8 feet, 10 feet away after you stumble a little bit. But that's the deal with that point of impact and sticking your chest out. What's another thing? Yeah, you want to be on the balls of your feet a little bit. You want your feet to be straight. You're not crouched down with feet that aren't in line. I mean, this thing is dead center in line stuff. And it's not hard, and start small. It's scary to take a charge at first, but it's less scary if you stand up tall. And just be very aware of that last step. Practice. Practice moving to your right if you're... I'm right foot dominant. I like to move to my right. If you want to watch a video, you can find the infamous LeBron, Kevin Durant block charge controversy. Well, in my opinion, 1000% LeBron messed up and it was a block. I mean, I know he's LeBron, but he got there late. He was fearful, so he turned his shoulder. I don't know why. He got there. He was too close to Durant. Had he taken an angle closer to the basket and got in position and stood up tall, he would have taken that easily. Although Durant does change direction, lightning. But I still think that would have been a good call if he had just done that. And if you watch that play, notice his steps are equal. Like when he pushed off when he took the last step, he was at the mercy of his strides. All his strides were equal. And like I said, on the last couple steps, you have the ability to adjust where you want to land. It's huge. It's huge. Stand up tall. Let's see, I know I'm forgetting something. Ask questions, please. I need to make an actual video of this. But it'll be on a tripod. Alright, well, I hope you like it.